For all the animals that I have, you must have clean water for the animals. You have to disinfect yourself, and if you will be handling any bird, you have to disinfect your hands. During the dry spell, we get the manure from the animals, we spread all over on the portion. It looks like Napier, but it is special Napier, Pakchong. It is more nutritious, it grows faster. When you maintain it well, you will cut it as many times as you can. So honey, very important to all of us, medicinally, food-wise, we feel good.
Welcome to Canaan Farm, where precision is more than a method, it's a lifestyle. Here in Dalu Tabani Ward, within Tongaren constituency, we meet Mrs. Aseneka, a passionate and meticulous farmer who, alongside her husband, the former member of County Assembly of this ward, has transformed their land into a thriving and diverse farm enterprise.
Welcome to Canaan Farm. This is on plot 192 Ndalu. We are the owners, Mr. and Mrs. Aseneka. We practice dairy farming. We also practice pig farming. We also do poultry. We do beekeeping and other crops on the farm. So we do some number of things on the farm, which I believe as we move around, you'll be able to see for yourselves. I'm Nathaniel Aseneka, so let her give her full names. Thank you, welcome.
Thank you, Victoria Aseneka. Welcome to our farm. You've already heard from my husband a number of things that we do on the farm. And in the end, we are happy because we make money out of the soil. Welcome.
Personally, before I ventured, we've been doing farming since childhood. But after that, I was employed into the civil service. I was a government officer. I was a policeman who rose through the ranks up to the rank of an OCPD. After that, I retired back home. Fortunately, my community wanted me to represent them politically. So they elected me as the MCA within the period of 2017 to 2022. I served as an MCA representing the Ndalu Tabani Ward, which I believe I did so well.
Professionally, a retired teacher. I retired at the level of a deputy head teacher. And since I had passion for the land or for farming, I have fully got engaged on the farm. If you miss me here, then I'm in the church. If you miss me in the church, then I'm on the farm. And it has made me feel good. Otherwise, we are encouraging young Kenyans to venture into farming. You will never regret. You be a manager of your own. You know what is good. You can research, you can go for benchmarking, and you become a better person than you start. We always start humbly, but we are elevated from one stage to another stage, which I feel right now I'll be a mentor of someone somewhere.
Today, Mrs. Aseneka walks us through the journey, sharing the inner workings of their farm, crop by crop, section by section, from food production to livestock keeping, and from modern beekeeping to agribusiness diversification. This is the full story of Canaan Farm. We begin where it all starts with maize farming, the backbone of food security in most Kenyan households. Here, Mrs. Aseneka shows us how they prepare their land, space their crops, and manage pests for optimum yield. She emphasizes the importance of timing, precision planting, and sustainable soil management.
Tumelima mahindi na maharagwe. Sababu ya kuchanganya mahindi na maharagwe ni kwamba tutumie hiyo udongo vizuri. Maharagwe hufika mahali inapoweka mizizi yake inatusaidia, especially the nodules part of it. It fixes nitrogen in the soil, so it also helps the maize. And maize consumption on our farm, it is a staple food, as food for the family and even for the livestock we have. We also do poultry. So when you get maize, after harvesting the maize, the stalks are ground and mixed with other food supplements from the shops, and we get food for the livestock. The breed we've planted here is long maturing maize, 6213. It takes up to 6 to 7 months to be ready for harvesting. The portion where we are, it is 3/4 of an acre, and it is able to give us food for a family of 7 for the whole year. We encourage ourselves because it becomes very expensive if you have to go and buy the maize from the market. And in my home, a mixture of maize and beans is 24/7. So I prefer having beans on the farm also. And even when we have harvested the beans, we can grind. After taking the beans off, we grind. It also supplements for the animal feed on the farm. It helps us as a people also to get some cash, because if we have to get this maize well done, we have to sell the surplus and remain with what we want to consume as a family. We get that cash. It also assists us in doing a number of things on the farm. And if you check, for example, the yield of the beans, I'm seeing like it is so good. Pollination is being helped by the bees which we rear on the farm. You will have to see our apiary when we move from this section. Apart from the maize, on this portion, you've seen we divided it into 2. The other 3/4, we have put in grass for the animals. If you go outside there, you'll find right now people are buying grass along the roads. But here, when you check, you will see that we are using this grass to feed our animals. It is the Bricaria type. It matures faster and we reinforce it. During the dry spell, we get the manure from the animals, we spread all over on the portion. So you'll find most of the time we are relying on organic manure. It maintains soil fertility. So we are encouraging ourselves as small-scale farmers that when you use organic manure, you will use less fertilizers from the shops, which drain the fertility of our soils. So we are encouraging other farmers to follow suit. Organic manure lasts long in the soil. Hence, you find the soil fertility helping you to get a good yield. When you come during harvesting, you will want to know what we are going to get out of this place. It is 3/4 of an acre, but you will not miss 30 bags of maize. So we encourage ourselves to use organic manure.
Not far from the pastures, the quiet hum of bees tells another story: beekeeping. Mrs. Aseneka proudly introduces us to their apiary, where modern hives stand tall. She shares how they started with a few hives, their pollination benefits, and how they have harvested and packaged honey as a growing agribusiness.
Welcome to our apiary. It is 7 years old, 7 years old, but in that corner there is that small singira where one starts life. Then we were provoked that we can make something better than the small one we had made. So we ventured into this and we are not regretting. Bees are working for us and we also work for them. Back on the farm, you saw how beans are feeling good. If we had not planted the beans, they would not have the flowers to collect the nectar from. And almost every corner on this farm, you'll find at least there are some flowers. On the eastern side, there is a construction, and on it, there is water. This water here is there 24/7 throughout the year. This water point encourages the bees. Even if you check keenly, you'll find bees collecting their water from there. So we felt we should not stress them going a long distance. In other words, when the dry spell is on, in fact, that's the time we harvest more honey on a monthly basis. December up to April, it is on a monthly basis. During the cold period, we can skip 2 to 3 months before we harvest. But during dry spell, because we provide the water, and you might wonder now, where do they get flowers? That's now God's doing. You find we get the honey. So honey, very important to all of us, medicinally, food-wise, we feel good. So if you venture into beekeeping, make sure you have a forest. In other words, there will be flowers readily for the bees to collect the nectar, come and make honey for you, and in the end you make money out of the honey. So we don't regret having apiary on our farm. People have had questions. Do they sting? Bees can only sting you when you interfere with them. Otherwise, they are good to have on your farm. It improves the yield across the board. All fruits, they feel good because of the bees. The capacity of our building or our apiary should be 200 beehives. But at the moment, we have 40 beehives.
A walk across the farm brings us to the heartbeat of their daily routine, dairy farming. With a few well-kept cows, Mrs. Aseneka explains their milking schedule, the feeding plan that supports milk production, and how they maintain animal health with support from local veterinary services.
So this is part of the type of farming we do on the farm. This is the dairy farming section. When you check, you'll see that most of the animals we are having, they are dairy cows. On the farm, when we get the male ones, the longer they can stay on the farm is 1 month. Then we do away with them. We only strictly deal with the dairy farming. Dairy farming is important. We get the milk, we get the manure. Manure, we have already shown you what it does on the farm. The milk, we consume what we can as a family. The surplus, we sell. The area where we are having a structure which contains 10 animals for the night, 5 on each side. We are having 2 sides for feeding and drinking. We have clean water on the farm for all the animals and the poultry that we keep. Piped water. We don't take our animals outside for feeding. Especially this season, we do total zero grazing. We feed them from the stocks or from the troughs. We get the grass from the farm and we come and feed them here. They avoid long distance movement. In other words, they are not easily attacked by diseases. We spray them once in a week to avoid East Coast fever or tick-borne diseases.
We step into a section that requires discipline and hygiene, pig farming. Here, Mrs. Aseneka outlines their breeding practices, feeding routines, and how they manage waste and diseases.
This is our pigsty. At the moment, we are having 4 full grown-ups and some 32 piglets, some as young as 3 days old. It's a project we ventured into from November 2023. And it's one of the projects that we are still getting encouraged because feeding them becomes a challenge. But all in all, they are not very demanding. They feed on 3 kgs of feed per day, the full grown-ups. And when we talk of full grown-ups, it is after you have weaned them. And weaning takes place after 35 days. The 36th day, a pig will feed, and that's why they are castrated very early of their life. 21 days, if you have any males, they are supposed to be castrated so that they don't interfere with the breeding on the farm. We don't encourage inbreeding. When we started, we were not having a sower or a boer of our own. It used to cost us to go and look for one who has a good seed, and they would serve for us at a cost. But we went in, got one of our own, and right now he is able to sire, and we get a good breed out of the pigs. We are having the type we call large white.
Finally, we visit the poultry unit, a small but significant part of their farm enterprise. Here, layers and broilers are kept under close watch with attention to biosecurity and balanced nutrition.
This side specifically, I'm doing layers where I want specifically to get fertilized eggs. One section will have fertilized and another one will have those the table eggs. Welcome. So the upper tray, This is their feeder. Their drinker is on the far end. After feeding, anytime they want water, they go to the drinking line and get their water from there. Their droppings are collected on these trays, of which we clean on a daily basis. The improved kienyeji grow faster compared to the indigenous, to the kienyeji. When you get a 3 months old improved kienyeji and you compare with the 3 months indigenous, you'll find there's a very big difference. So the improved kienyeji mature faster, which will get you money faster compared to the original or the indigenous chicken that we rear. These ones will give you more eggs compared to the indigenous kienyeji. The indigenous kienyeji, I prefer them because they brood on their own. These ones will lay as many eggs, but you will not give them eggs to brood for you. So these ones I'm doing specifically to sell to those who have got incubators to hatch chicks. You'll find they'll be very active for 2 months. Then they mold for about 3 or even to about 1 month, depending on the season. You know, during cold seasons, they tend not even to lay. But once the temperatures are high, you'll find them laying on a daily basis. But molding period will come after an active period of 2 months of laying.
As we wrap up our visit, Mrs. Aseneka offers heartfelt advice to fellow smallholder farmers across the globe.
On the farm, if you don't do, you rely on the report, you might end up losing everything that you have spent your lifetime investing in, especially poultry. It's just like a baby. You must monitor. When you are doing the feeding in the morning, check the droppings, check the feeds, check water, and make sure before you give solid food to poultry, supply water first. And then you'll move on and you'll feel you are great. As a manager, you wake up early, you sleep late. That's the principle on this farm.
As a family, we are very, very grateful for your visit. I think and I believe that you have enjoyed your stay and your work on the farm. This is exactly what we do on this farm. Mama has taken you through all that we do on this farm. This is exactly what we wish and expect our people to do, because it is only on the farm that you can create wealth. So I encourage each and every person who has a bit of land. We don't need big chunks of land. We just need small pieces or parcels of land, and you can do a lot on that parcel of land. You can create wealth. You can get whatever you want from that parcel of land. So we are thankful for your visit. Welcome again.